Alright guys. Alrighty. Let me remove some of this stuff. I don't need you. I'll take you off. And the rooster's out already. Waking everybody up already. Cool. I think I got everything out. My live stream okay? Let me check my live stream. Cool. Everything looks to be okay. Let me know if there's any issues. Alright then guys, let's get started, shall we? Hope you guys had a great weekend and great 4th of July. If you guys did any fireworks out there, hopefully you guys stay safe. But yeah, it's a new day of the week. It is Monday today. Thank you guys for being here. If you guys watching, or if you guys are watching later on when this gets uploaded, welcome to the video. I hope you guys have been doing great and wonderful on this day. And let's get started, shall we? So the plan for today is to continue working with AI, but this time we're gonna be working on spawning them into the world, because there's no way of seeing enemies right now if you were to go into the overworld. At least that's the thought. Maybe I'll go a different way. Let's go to the Trello board actually, and then we'll go and check that out in a bit. Alright, let me whip out the Trello board. Okay, hold on. Let me check everything. Okay, cool. So everything's here. Alright, let's get started then. So I got my Trello board over here, right? Let me refresh my streamer here. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we got a Trello board over here. I made some updates to it since the last time. It's like, you guys, it's been a while since you guys last seen it actually. Initially this was the roadmap, which I kind of made it all the way to AI. Like, I started, basically that's what I'm doing right now. But I want to break it off and start working with roadmap 2.0, which is the updated version of this roadmap. And basically this lists out all the things that I need to do before I release a demo or whatever, which is still a lot of things I need to deal with to make this world a little bit more like, hey, there's stuff to do, right? Because I got all of these features in the game already. I just need to put them all together. And also, not just that, but also create the art. Sorry guys, I didn't even clean my eyes today. So, sorry about you guys seeing all of that. Alright, so we got all of this stuff, and I tried to put it in a particular order where I wanted it to be, where I need to finish this to continue to the next part, right? I mean, fertilizer is not necessarily something I need to do right away, but it is something that has to do with the crops, and I would love to have it. And it doesn't have to be anything like complicated. I think what I want to do with the fertilizer is just going to be as a single fertilizer that will decrease the time. Maybe I'll just half the time of the crop. And if I ever do want to add multiple fertilizers in the future, I can add it. But as of right now, I think it's just one. I don't want to make it too complicated at the moment. And then I have another one with character movement, which I already did a mouse to go to mouse click. But I want to do another one where if you're holding the mouse, it just moves to wherever the mouse is at. And then I have other ones here where I need to decide how I want the spawner to be in the outer world, and this spawner is going to be for either enemies or it can be like animals just roaming around. So I need to find a way or implement a logic of how am I going to decide when to place these spawners. And I kind of already started doing this yesterday, so I just need to be able to spawn the spawner, right? And after that, I need to decide what kind of enemies I want to have in the game and animals that I would like to have. That's one thing. The other thing is decide on the fishes, what kind of fishes they're going to be in here, what kind of crops. And once I have all of that, I could create an almanac, which is something I definitely would like to do. is to create an almanac for things that you can discover. And all of these other two, and maybe even the animals and enemies here, it'll be determined depending on the season that you're in. So you can change. So after all of that, I want to hook up all the skill systems, because now you should basically, you know, I have all the crops. I should be able to, I'm already able to, you know, do some farming here. I'm able to fish and all of that. I have some enemies already. So now I need to hook up the skill system, which is basically all the skills that you have in here that it's not necessarily something that you need to upgrade, but it is there if you wanted to do that. After that, I would love to create the dungeons. And I already have the dungeons, like the logic of how it spawns, but I wanted to, like, the visuals is one of the things I'll need to look into and figure out how I want the look of dungeons to look like. And so that I can, let me go into that scene. Let me see, what is the name of the scene? Do I have a separate folder for it? This as the scripts. I need to go to the scenes, dungeons. You got this. So I got the look of these, right? And what this logic does, it actually goes through all the room scenes, which tells you if it's northeast, south, and west, or northeast, northwest, north, south, east, southeast. Actually, this is backwards, south, southeast. All the different directions where the dungeons can be connected, and then basically starting to design how the dungeon is gonna look like, and the visuals on it, because this is not what I want to have in the game. The way that the rocks and all of that looks like. At least I don't think so. It may change later on, but so right now I don't want that to be there. So that's what I mean about that task. Let's go into, once I do that, once I have the dungeons and all of that, I would like to look into puzzles that you can have in here. It's still pretty far away for me to think about how I want, what kind of puzzles. I got some ideas already, but I just want to see if there's better ones. And then decide on the quests. Now that I have everything else in here, I would like to decide what kind of quests you can have in the game besides the main story progression ones. Since I got enemies, I got crops, I got all of this other stuff that is in the game. I got puzzles going on, dungeons and all of that. And after that, decide on the seasons and weather, when exactly they can be triggered. How am I going to decide on weather? When it's raining, it's windy, or it's going to be like thunderstorms and all of that. Then I started looking into the art style. Actually, I have dungeon art style all the way down here, huh? I can't really do dungeons without actually knowing how the look of... Maybe, can I? I'll have to think about this a little bit further. Anyways, and then be able to hook up the story into the game. And then once I hooked up all of that, I can start looking to dialogue of NPCs, and I think that should be in a really good place after that. Actually, there's one more thing, and that is special events. And these special events, I mentioned it in the previous videos, if you've watched it or not. Basically, what my game is about is mostly just being with your with the father, and being able to like have this cool, awesome fishing moments that you can have with the father, and that's something that some type of special events like that I would like to have in here. But yeah, but that's basically the outline for Roadmap 2.0 before I can start thinking about doing a demo and release it for people who wants to play it. And it should be in a good spot after that. Cool. So I technically started this yesterday, but I would like to start on these two just to get it out of the way. And we got a fertilizer in here, so we can, you know, just, I don't know, I kind of have a title already on this stream saying spawner AI already. Because technically I already started on it. I'm gonna have to change the stream title. You know, let's get this other two out of the way already. All right, so let's get started, shall we? This is my Godot project. Okay, here we go. So let me load my data table in here. Oops, I didn't need to create a new collection. I want to load the collection that I have already. And let's go to resources, collection, manage table. We got items in here, and I added the fertilizer here. Here we go. So we got a support fertilizer, which I can just put a support fertilizer here. I need the icon for the actual path for this, which I don't have one at the moment. No, it doesn't matter. This doesn't have to be a single item type. I'm gonna say it's support for crops, and it'll be a quantity of 1 every time. I just need an icon for it, which I never created one. But you know, let's work on the logic at least in the meantime for right now. So as I mentioned before, the fertilizer is going to be something that you're going to be adding into the soil, and it will half the time of the time that it takes for the crops to grow. Let's look into the logic for that. If I remember, where is that file at? It's been a while since I looked at it. I think it's called plot tile. I think plots tools. No, it's not tools. Tiles. Plot tile. There it is. And let's open the header file of it as well, since we're here. Okay, so here I'm determining the stages of every crop if they have multiple stages. We have a current timer. So determine how much growth. So every stage has a timer. So let's say first stage takes, I don't know, like 10 seconds. It'll probably be a lot longer once I add the total time in the future. But let's say for this example, let's say, hey, the first stage takes 10 seconds, the second stage takes another 10 seconds, and all of that. So I'm assuming what I would like to do in here is to add up all of this and figure out what index I am in if I have the time, and what growth I am in. It only updates this if it's been watered. Alright, so let's create a function here. Let's say what I would like to say. Let's say add fertilizers. And since it's just having the time, oops, I don't mean to rename it. The quick action creates. Let's look at the, let me look at the stages for these. I think it's in crops, I believe. Yeah. So the times per stages. So the first stage takes 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. I don't need to add the last one, because I believe that is when it maybe it does. Hold on, let me look at the, it's under items crops. Let's look at the how many frames that one has. Art, items, crops, and we got melons in here. It has, here it goes to 5 seconds to reach this stage. 5 seconds to reach this stage. Oops. No, I was not talking to you, Siri. I have no idea how that happened. So from this point it takes 5 seconds, which is this, right? And then it takes another 5 seconds to reach this other stage. And it takes another 5 seconds to reach this stage. Another 5 seconds to reach this stage. And then another, yeah, so I actually do need all of them. Sorry. So I do. At least for this one. For this other one, this has an extra one here for pineapple. Because pineapples, you can go back to being full grown afterwards, after it's been picked. Since you can regrow multiple fruits at a time. So when it's in this stage, it goes 5 seconds to get to the next stage, 5 seconds to go to that stage, 5 seconds to go to that stage, 5 seconds to go to this stage, right? 5 seconds to go to the final stage. But once it's been picked, it will take another 5 seconds to go back and do that. So I need to figure out if it can regrow. If it can, I need to ignore the last 5 seconds. So I don't have to include it. So here, this enables a interactable. Enables interactable here once it reaches the final stage. So how does it determine if it reached the last stage and needs to regrow? I think it happens when I pick it. That when it happens? Let me see. Interact. Here we go. Oh, there we go. So we can check to see if it can regrow. We don't include the last one. All right, so let's go in here then. So in here, we can check to see if it can regrow. I might get the total. No, let's do a float because it makes it easier. Total time. Set it to 0. And we can loop through all those stages. Take I believe this is how I want to have it. Total stages. Oops. Size. Plus I. And stage time. And that will be here. Right. I think I have it as float in there. So, you know, let's have it as float here, I think. And then we'll just, if it can't regrow, we will not include the last one. And just increase it by stage time. Let's see. I'm trying to avoid having another for loop when doing the else. I'm wondering if I can just do it in here without needing to do a double for loop in here. I mean another for loop when doing the else. Because right now, if I wanted to do that, I just have to do this and just remove this here. You know what I can do? Hold on. Let's do it outside. We'll create a size outside. Total stages. We'll get the size of it. And if it can't regrow, then just subtract one from it. because we don't need to include it, and now I don't need this for looping here, and I don't need to do an else there. There we go. And then do total stages out here. Cool, so we have the total time. And what I want to do with the total time is to divide it by 2 or multiply by having the time. And then after this, I will go through all the stages again. And I'm gonna subtract the time it takes so that I can figure out what stage in growth I'm in. I already heard something moving behind me. I saw it through my reflection on my TV. Whoa. Hopefully, I don't know. I just saw something reflection in my TV falling down from behind me. Okay. Woo! I got goosebumps now. Let's see. Why is this an error? Oh, it's just a variant. Okay. I feel like variants should be able to do that automatically, man. Alright. So it subtracts total time. And every time, so once it reaches, if total time is still greater after this, I think that's what I want to do. Hold on, is this logic gonna work? Okay, so let's say I plant my crop. It has all these stages, right? So it's in the 5th stage. Hold on, let me look at the... it has all of these stages, right? I add them all up, which is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 25 seconds in total that it takes for this to reach the final stage. And if I were to have it once it gets planted, or I do it at the beginning, the half time of that is gonna be like 12.5 or whatever. So I'm going to this first stage and see if I can subtract 5 from it, and if I can, that means that this stage is done. If I can subtract another 5 seconds from here, which I can, it is done. And then it reaches this stage, which is the 3rd stage, which I cannot subtract 5 because of what's left over is 2.5. So it will stay in this stage. The problem is, what happens if I am in this stage already and I have it because let's say I never put fertilizer on the crop, and it's already in the 3rd stage already, and I decide to put fertilizer on it. I actually don't know if you can put fertilizer after it's grown, or it is growing. I never tested out. I never really use fertilizers when I'm playing in a game. I never actually used a fertilizer before. Let's say you can actually do it in this game. Maybe that's something that other games do. I have no idea. I never tested that out. But let's say you can. Let's say I'm in the 3rd stage right now. That means I don't really need to add up the other ones. What I need to do is start it from the current growth stage. Let's go back to the logic. So instead of going from 0, you start from the growth stage, which is what this growth is. So if the growth stage is 0, which is right at the beginning, I believe I start off at 0, if I'm not mistaken. So this is if you can regrow. How do I set up this? Is there a function that sets up this? Initialize. Yeah, so growth starts at 0. If it first starts, and then once it keeps growing. So if it's already in the 3rd stage and I have fertilizer on it, that means I'm adding, let's see, If I'm at 0, it's here. If it's at 1, it goes to this one. If it's in the second growth, which is the 3rd stage, or about to go to the 3rd stage, complete it. So it will include this one. Okay, so we include the first one here if it's in this stage. So 5, 5, and 5, which is 15. And I half it. So because I add a fertilizer, right? So 15 divided by, you know, by half of that, it's going to be 7.5. So you go here and say, hey, can I just subtract 5 from it? And if it can, it goes to the next stage. And what's left over is going to be 2.5 once again. So it will be, you actually, if I were to add it there, it will only go up 1 stage. That's not bad. What if I'm in here, which is only 10, right? And I have it, which is 5. If I add a fertilizer in this stage, it will go to the next stage. So if I were to do this, I think in this logic where I'm just having the time, it's better to do it right at the beginning when it's growing, because you skip almost, you know, an extra stage. Yeah, I think that's fine for me for the time being. Okay. So if I can still keep growing, I can increase the growth time. Is there anything else I need to keep track of? Or actually I can, hold on, trying to see which will be best. Maybe I need to do it this here. Yeah, I'm gonna need to call this after everything's done. Let's create a function for that. We can say update growth. So we'll create a function for that, and what was inside of that, which is everything under that, because this updates my growth stage, emits a signal that this soil has been updated, and does something else elsewhere. If the stage is empty and the growth stage is less than, oh, if it's not empty, I see, and the growth stage is less than the current stages, he updates the time to grow once again. Updates my icon to the current stage, and if I am at the end, it will enable my interaction. So yes, so what I'm going to do here is called update growth, and put this inside of this function. And then I'm gonna like to reset the current timer to be safe. Yeah, and then update growth here once again. So that would take count, and then when it comes in here, which I am less than that, we'll reset the timer and update it to the next growth stage that is in. I believe that's how I would like to do it. I'll have to test it out and see how that feels. Okay. I'm thinking right now, if there's any other, like, what this calls any bugs if I were to do this right now. Okay. Oops. All right, so let's go into my game manager and then be able to hook up that up. So it has to be when I'm clicking a cell. So let's do on left click or whatever this is called. Left, 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 left. Oh, let's do on handle input since that's where it's located. Handle, no, not planting action. Handle player left mouse click. Alright, so if we go through here, I'm checking to see if that tile is clickable. I'm going through my active slots. If it's a fishing rod, it will do something else to start doing the fishing, right? And that's a soil. The tile is a soil. If it is a soil, and then either I have a hoe, a watering can, it's either a scythe, and we'll pop back to the last. I'll probably do it for a scythe. I can understand with this and the watering can, but not understand the scythe option here. I need to look into that. The scythe cannot be used on the soil. Interesting. I don't remember why I added that in there. Okay. Otherwise, if it's an environment tile, which is either that means there's a tree in here, there's a rock, something that's blocking the tile, then I pop the last point. Oh, the A star, because I don't need to go to that location, which is fine. Okay. Which is none of that. If I was holding a fertilizer or the fertilizer was active, it will never go to any of these. Okay. So then, grabs the player controller. I check to see the player is busy, or there's no input happening right now, and it can do a path. What if it cannot do a path? Well, actually, it will be true, right? Because I never actually went inside of here. So this will always be true. There's no input. We go to roof and move to path. Okay, so I need to go to on player complete then. On player move completes. Here we go. All right, so I would like to check to see. Okay, this checks to see if it's a tree right now. I got my current active slot. Check to see. It should be in the soil. That's right. So in here, I need to check to see if it's a fertilizer. Else, if item.type. If I remember, I said it was support. If I remember, it was support, right? Support. Yeah, we got support, and then I can say secondary type will be crops, or it can even be like for farming. That'll be the support for it. And item.type, I mean a secondary type, equals farming. And we're never going to this environmental flag at all. Well, face the direction. I like to say face direction equals true. So it faces the direction of the soil. There's not actual action that you can go in here, so I will need to create another one and pass it in here. Okay, so let's put it here. Fertilizer added equals false, and I want to say that this is true when it's here, and then just do an else statement here. Is the fertilizer added and it's not busy? If the player's not busy at the moment. So another thing I would like to look in here is figuring out the soil that's already been added a fertilizer, right? How do I handle that case? How would I handle that case? I actually still need to draw that. If I go into... I don't have it in here anymore. Oh no, there it is. Alright, so let's go in here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to create two different of these, sadly. So this, let's put some... Do I want it to be that color? Do I want it to be a different color? Let's test it out, shall we? That's a little too big. I just want to see how it looks. If this is how I want it. Right. Would that be considered, or would it be better if it's white? Would that look a little bit better? I think it would. Maybe add some opacity on it. Looks a little bit too bright for me though. So if I decrease the transparency, the alpha in here, it'll be more like... Yeah, that's a little too bright. We can go maybe even double that amount. I'll just move it over. Yeah, that should be fine. We got a fertilizer in here. I want to go. No, I think that should be fine. I'll copy this. That way the patterns don't change when it comes to this side. So let's copy that in here. I'll copy the color on this one and just change it here. There we go. So this is a fertilizer for that. Let's go into give me a second, guys. Yeah, no, I guess it's not. I cannot do anything here. Alright, never mind. Alright. So let's go into the tile map of my game. Let's go in here. And we have these two tiles here. Let's go tile set so I can add these. Okay. Trying to figure out how I want to set this up. If I want to add a custom data into it, I think I have to. I can tell it what stage I'm in. I think I have to add a custom data to it. Because I already have one if it's soil, if it's tilled. And I need a way to determine if this is fertilized or not. Okay. Let's go to the end. I guess we'll do it. We'll call it fertilized. And it's a Boolean. We may want to do it in the dungeon as well, so let's go in there before I forget. And then later I'm like thinking about like what happened. If it's already not in here, it should be already in here, is it? No, because it's using a different tile set. So let's add another one here. It's called it fertilized. And it will be a bool. Cool. Let's go back here. We will go into the tile set, select this one. Because this one is soil, which is basically all of this, that. It is tilled already, technically. It is ground. That's it, right? Yep. The only difference this one has is fertilized. Same thing as this one. And this ground. This one is watered. Is that and that. Actually, did I put water in this one? Okay, sweet. Oh, so this two should be the same. Okay. So I do that. Let's go back into my code. I need to go to where all this tile info is at. I need to create another one for fertilized. Is fertilized. And I should have a function for it where I am determining this flag somewhere. Retrieve tile info, which goes through all of this stuff. And sets the tile data, which is actually this function. It just goes through it and sets all my stats for it. So if info that is fertilized equals false, we grab the custom flag data for it. Let's just copy all of this stuff in here, I guess. Dot flag. So let's just be fertilized in here. And I need to create one for this in here. Alright, just called it fertilized for me though. Fertilized. I'm just gonna name it that way. Okay. So it then tells me that this tile is fertilized. Nah. I can go back down where I was at. You want to check to see if the tile info is tilled, of course. The flag and tile info is fertilized. The flag equals false. We want to make sure it hasn't been fertilized yet. For that soil. Okay. So after that, after this, we check that, then we can then. How do I get this plot tile? Do I have a list of them, or forgetting how to grab all that info? Create plot tile, and it sets. Does it set it anywhere? Alright, let's check this. Let's find out. It creates it in here, and if it's a plot tile, it grabs it. Okay, so it saves it here. We're using the tile a mouse map, tile map coordinate system. Okay, so I can retrieve it from here using the last mouse tile click position. I believe I should have it already. Yep. I lost my place. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. And since this is a dictionary, this returns a variant, so I need to cast it. I'll call it plotted tile pointer plotted tile, and we'll have to cast it to a plotted tile. Alright, so once I do that, I check to see if it's, valid. And if so, we want to add fertilizer. Okay, so hold on. That's only if there's a plotted tile. I mean, it should be fine. We'll need to update the tile map. The main tile map layer. We'll need to set the cell of this one from this mouse position, and this is gonna be from 0, and the actual atlas coordinate for this, and this will be determined if this tile has been watered or not. It's watered, so this tile has been watered, and it's gonna be a separate tile. Otherwise, it's gonna use a different one, the regular not watered tile. Handle planting action. How do I handle that case? So if it's watered, it sets this to water, but how do I set the actual tile map? If it handles a planting action, I think that does it when the watering can. Am I not on the planting action? But it happens on a watering can function. Let me find out. On watering, or water can or something. Complete. He grabs all that. Grabs the tile parent. Source ground. Oh, actually, I do have a source for that. Sweet. Okay. So, you know what? Let's put the coordinates in here then. I got water soiled. So let's copy all of this. Tilled fertilized soil. And watered fertilized soil. So let's grab the coordinates for those, shall we? So in my case, the regular one is 516 and then it's 616, right? Okay, so it just increments it by that. 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. All right, let's go back to game manager. I'm gonna copy this since I already have it, or I just copied both of these. Let's go back on top. Actually, this is supposed to be this here. All right, so for this one, I'll be determined on if I'm planting it, be making sure that it's tilled. Well, actually, no, it shouldn't be tilled yet. Hold on. No, it has to be tilled. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. Vector 2 Atlas board for this. I think by default we can actually just set it to we can just set it to a regular tilled soil, tilled fertilized. But if it's the other one, the flag, we'll set it to the other one. It'll be watered. Actually, just watered. Water fertilized soil. Did I misspell that somehow? Yeah, I misspelled it the other way around. There's no I in this one. So we set it to that, and then we update the to that. All right. So you update the tile maps on a tile from this location to be either if it's fertilized, if it has no water, or if it has watered already, then we change it to the water fertilized atlas cord, and that's what we do right there. And then if there's a plot tile here, then we'll add it and add the fertilizer to it. Otherwise, another thing that I'll need to look into. So for this created tile here, hold on, does it do anything here? Nope. So how do I check to see if it's watered or not? Oh, this loads it in. Okay. Okay, so I'm taking account for saving stuff when it reloads it the game. And then when I'm creating this plot tile, I need to know. Okay, here. So if it's watered, we check to see if it's fertilized. Bull is fertilized, and we can check to see if the tile info is fertilized flag. I don't even know if I have to create a Boolean flag for that. We check to see if it's watered, right? And the planting action, if I'm planting an action, that means the soil's already tilled. So all I need to check here is, I already called my initialize, which initializes all the data for it, for this growth and all of that. It knows all the stages already. So all I actually have to do here is, if this is fertilized, then you just call fertilizer, add fertilizer. Because that means the fertilizer is already in the ground when I planted this crop. So we just gotta update the fertilizer's time, and we'll set it to that. The other option, the other thing we need to look into is when the game is saved and it loads it back in, I need to check to see if this thing is fertilized or not. So this will grab it here. I should already know everything else. I think the only thing I would like to have in here is, well, create a flagging here. Same thing with water, and say bowl as fertilized. We'll set it to false. When I add that fertilizer, we'll set it here equals true, and save data dictionary. I'm just gonna say is fertilized, and I'm just gonna set it to true here. So that way interacts. How do you determine if this is alright? Maybe I don't need to do that. How do I determine if this is fertilized? Because I don't see it happening here in a save data checking to see if it's either like watered or anything. Another thing is that once this is true, we don't want to set it again. Just for, you know, make sure it's safe and doesn't do it again after it's fertilized. It can only be fertilized once for the soil. We go back. How does it decide if it's a watered or not? So when it loads the plot tile, how do you determine if this is watered or not? Ah, you have a tilt soil water dictionary here. And then but it's a boolean, right? That's fun. If anything, maybe what I can do, instead of saying, hey, it's watered or whatever, I can call it like soil state or soil status or whatever, and it saves the actual information that's in that soil rather than me creating another dictionary for this. Yeah, I think that's what I'd like to do. So it will tell me, hey, it's watered and it's all that. When does it save it? You see, on water can complete, updates the status or whatever. Sets it to false. When the action is complete, it sets this water soil to be false. This is the first time creating it. And your summary here. And clears that when it changes transition, which is fine. So where does it save it? It needs to save it somewhere, right? Where do I save it? Into the save data here. Because I don't see it happening anywhere. We got it in here. We got it in when I'm doing a watering can situation there, and this one is loading it, but it needs to know what this is at this time. Oh no, this just keeps track of it. I see. Hold on. Okay, hold on. If I'm in a game, I till the soil and I save it, I should remember it though. I actually never tried that. Let me try that out right now. Quackerjack, welcome to the stream. 1318 missing. I don't know what you mean by that. Okay, let's try out the tilling the soil. We'll till soil. We'll go out here real quick. We'll just till whatever. Do I even have it till a hoe? There we go. Let's switch that over. Those, I believe can I till the soil or can I not? Oh, it has to be actual soil. My bad. I'm debating if I want to till grass in any way. Maybe that should be something. I don't know. So we'll do that. Well, actually, I can't even save it right now, can I? What happened to my save button here? My def button. Oh, the letter I. Okay, got it. Yeah. Got it. I'm a little late on that. But cool, thank you for pointing that out. Thank you. Alright, where is my... So here's my def, my panel. I got my terminal. Yeah, I don't know why this is off right now. But let's save it and let's reload the game. Let's load into the game. Is the soil tilled at this point? If it's not, then I have to keep track of that. It is tilled, so it is keeping track. I need to figure out where is that tracking. If that soil's tilled already. Alright, let's find that out what this is grabbing this stuff at. Okay, so this loads till tiles, my bad. Okay, so this loads the tilt stuff. Checks to see if it's been watered. And if it's been watered, it keeps track to see how long it has been watered. If it's been too long, it sets it back to normal. Oh, so if it's watered, it does this or it does that. Got it. But it has this thing here, this tilt soil water dictionary, which is only keeping track of its water or not. But I would like to keep track of the status of this soil, so I'll have to create another dictionary just for that. Yeah, so I have another one here which just says that this soil has been tilled or not. This. Oh, I mean, this actually has a state already. Ooh. Okay. Got it. So we can actually say here, till dictionary, and say it's fertilized. I'll set that to false. So I just need to keep track of this dictionary here. Got it. It's been way too long since I looked at this. So here we are on saving the data for it. It just grabs that data and saves the entire thing, which is fine. And this functions when I'm loading the tilt tiles here. Got it. Okay, so I have my tilt tiles here. And in here, I want to say tilt tile dictionary, tile safe data, and say it's fertilized. We'll nice that. It will use this tile atlas cord, otherwise we'll use the regular water. And the same thing here. I don't know if I even need to save that information there. But let's copy that, and that'll be the same thing for down here. Okay. We got that. I should just copy this entire thing, save it there, do that. Oops, I'm putting it in the wrong place. There we go. Go fertilized. Did I miss the I on the other one as well? Yes, I did. Alright. I'll fix the other one when I get on top. Okay, so this says the correct atlas codes for that. Actually, for the fertilizer, I also need to think about when should I stop the fertilizer. We'll think about that after. I'll need to find a way to say, hey, when is the fertilized stuff goes away? It goes to this tile map parent. If it's watered. Alright, so in this case, we can just grab the atlas cord from here then. So I still have access to it. I should be able to have access to it. And it's just Godot vector 2i atlas cord. It'll be whatever's in here. It's gonna be what's in here. Actually, I don't even need to check for water. I don't need to do this because it already sets it on top. You know what? Let's comment this off. I'll comment that off. For the time being, just in case I mess up and this ends up not working. Okie dokie. I believe this sets it up the way that I want it. So it grabs all this tilled soil, which I have a lot of things going on in here. Let's comment that off. Let's put this down. Soil. It says, hey, I have a tilled tile in this location. It then checks the status of it, if it's watered or not. If it is watered, it checks the time, if it's been too long, so it reverts it back to normal. And then checks the atlas, which atlas state you should be on. And if it is fertilized, it will set it to that atlas cord there. And we had a tile save that up. What does this do? Okay, so it just keeps track of those safe tiles in there, which I don't even know if I use it, by the way. It goes through here and it saves it. Okay. And I think that should do it. I just need to set the at this location. I want to add the fertilizer where we added that. I need to set that state to be true. In here. So once I add the fertilizer, I need to say, hey, let's right, and in here I'm just gonna say is fertilized. Probably gonna create a string for this so I don't do a typo in here at any time, since I already done typos already. And then we set it back. Cool. So this will say if the total is tilled, I go to this, the player goes to this location and it sees, hey, this I'm adding a fertilizer. It checks the state to see if it's tilled, and it has not been fertilized. Then we update the state to be fertilized. Okay. There's one last thing that I just noticed is that chunk tile map that we went to. Am I even using this in here? And if I am, okay, so it goes in here and checks to see if this handle save data for this save till tiles in here. Perfect. It will do it already. Atlas chord. It sets it to the correct one. Cool. All right. So I'll need to test this out. Let's see how I want to handle this site. Let's create a new 16 by 16. We'll just create something random right now. How do I want to do this? Oops, I did not mean to do the entire thing. Let's do a B. It's not going to be perfect. This is just something that I'm doing right now. I wanted to create a bag, but this side ended up not looking the best here. It ended up not looking the way that I wanted to. Yeah, my fertilizer bag for the time being. Probably want to do it darker, I guess. Whoops. And do the inside a little lighter. And we'll put F for fertilizer for right now. You know, it could be like a little string here or something. I don't know. Perfect. All right, that's what I'm gonna use for now. Export as. Let's go to the location of all my stuff at. That is not where I want to be at. It's gonna be here. Edenville. Assets. Parts. I'll just save it out here for right now. I'm just gonna name it fertilizer or something. Fertilizer. We'll save it here for the time being. Cool. Let's go to Godot. Let's go to the database. And let's find that fertilizer so I can set the texture path for it. That's in here. Copy path. Name that. Let's do that. Let's make sure that saves. So sometimes it doesn't save. Let's go to my test scene. We'll test it in the test scene for a time being, just to make sure it actually works there. So we got a pat. We got some soil happening here. And let's drop in a pickable item in here. Oops. Every time. Let's duplicate you. And let's move you to where I want you to be at. And the key item was support fertilizer. I believe that's what I named it. Double check one more time. Yeah, support fertilizer. We'll test it out and see what's going on. Alright, I do have my little hog over here. Let's disable my enemy for now. Cool. So we got a little fertilizer bag on top. Oh, I'll just grab all of this. Let's make my day to be set time noon. I don't want it to be morning right now. And let's pick up this fertilizer. And let's till the soil. And let's add some fertilizer into it. It did not work. So let's look into that and see why it did not work. Let's go back to player move completes. We'll put a debug log here. Let's just go through it real quick. If active slot instant here, and it is a soil, which it is. If tighten, I don't have a hole on the beginning. I'm not using a watering can. I don't have a seed. Actually, I should check to see if it's tilled in here, but it should be going in here unless I messed up. Type is support, and secondary type is farming. Let's double check that that is like that in the database. So if we go into support, we got support. It's still crops. I thought I changed it to farming, man. It would have been farming. Hold on. Also, this plugin here is it is very buggy. So I changed it to farming earlier. Let me just double check again. Items. Farming, okay. Cool. Alright, let's load it back in. Let's try it one more time. So pick up all of this stuff in here. And get the watering can if I want it to. And let's till the soil. Actually, you know what? Oops. Go back to noon again. Alright. Let's till the soil. Add a fertilizer on it. And it didn't do it again. Alright, so let's figure out why it doesn't actually add it. Alright, let's go in here. Let's figure it out. Let's attach process. Click the window. Oh my. This is what I don't like about debugging here. It's saying that you can go in here, man. And I need you to go in here. I don't know why it does that sometimes. So it makes it a little bit harder for me to debug this further. Like that could very well be it too. Yep, that was my mistake. There we go. Now I can go in here. All right. I forgot to build it, so that's that's definitely a problem. Ooh. All right, so here we go. Once again. Oh, there we go. Sweet. Okay, so now the soil's tilled. You can see the little white spots in it. Will this be a bug when I place the seed? Oh, I can't place it now. Interesting. But what determines if this can be placed or not? Can I water it? Oh, okay. So once I'm watering it doesn't set the correct state of it. It's fun. Another thing is that this didn't get removed when I added it. So there's a couple things I need to figure out here. One, I cannot place seed. Can I place it now? Maybe not. Hold on. Let's till the soil again. I'm different. Yeah, I can't. Oh, there we go. Can I? Yeah, I can't. It doesn't like placing it. Okay. I probably will have to update the title of this, since I thought I was gonna work on AI today, but this is taking longer than I thought it was gonna be. So, for adding fertilizer, that's what I'm at. To crops. That's the name of the new stream. Let's save the name. I'll probably work with AI next time. Can I update the one on Twitch? Not possible. Edit stream info. Yeah, there we go. Alright, done. And let's go to there we go. Alrighty. Alright, so let's look into that and figure out why it can't add. For one, it goes into when player move completes. Let's go back to that other function where I do the mouse click. I will need to check the planting action, but I will need to check on handle left mouse click, and I will need to pop the last one because it goes right on top of the soil, and I don't want it to do that. So we're gonna check to see. Actually, you know what? It should have gone here regardless, I think. You're only checking for this state, so if the thing is soil, which it is, check to see if the item type equals or The type is support, and oops, not that. And item, the secondary type equals farming. Right, so it pops the last point from the A-star grid, so it doesn't go on top of it. So we'll do that. And once it completes, okay, so that's one thing. Second thing is it doesn't plant when, let's see, if it's tilled. If item type equals seed, which it is on an active slot. Let's see, it's the item. Item to remove is this. So we went through this earlier when planting the action, it plants this, but for whatever reason it didn't want to do it. And I'm wondering if this is false for it, so I'm gonna need to check the custom data for that tile. Everything else looks okay. Let's check the tile data for that, because I'm not seeing anything wrong with it right now. Okay, so let's check. Oh, we do have its soil is tilled. Same thing here, so I don't get why I'm not able to put something in it. It should technically work, because the seed that I have active is the one that it's in here. I should do all of this stuff in here, right? Go to player move. If it's a soil, oh, I think wait, no, we checked the seed first though. If the item type that I'm holding is a seed and it's tilled, which it is, it should have gone through here first before it would ignore this one. So if I have seed equipped, we'll do that first. It looks fine. And the other bug, let's look at the other bug. The other one was on watering can complete. When it sets the water tile to be that. Yeah, so this is wrong here. Give me a second to think. Do I need to use the tilt atlas cord? Yes, I think it's the same thing that I was doing before. I need to grab the tilt ground from here first. So, I'm debating if I already have it saved or not. But when I add the fertilizer, hold on one second. When I add the fertilizer, move complete, it does all of this stuff. It fertilizes it, the soil, but it never sets the atlas cord for it, right? I'll need to do this here if it's fertilized. But Let's double check to see if I remember adding it somewhere. Let me check for this first. Okay, so here receive it Atlas cores, either if it's that, this. When is this happening? When I'm loading the tiles in. But at any time I could have changed that. That means I'm gonna have to keep track of this every time. Either if I fertilize it, it does this. And if I don't, it does the other thing. Hold on. Here, if it's true. If it's true, it does this. Because I added a fertilizer on it. And I can keep track of the Atlas cord actually. Instead of soil states. I think it was what was the name of it? Atlas dash cord. Board, which then saves it in here. So it remembers it. Because I'm doing it on top already. And I gotta remember to revert it back if it's not fertilized. If I'm watering it as well, that needs to update. Which is where I'm about to go right now. Oh, here. So I still need to grab it regardless. So I need to go to Godot dictionary. Soil state. And it's gonna be tilled. What was it? Tilled tiles dictionary. And it's gonna be the last mouse. Click tile position. And we can update this since it's watered. Hold on. If I need to grab the state from here as well, because I don't know the state of the tile, or at least I don't have that info in here just yet. So let's grab the info then. Tile info equals here. Retrieve tile info. We'll pass in the last mouse position. The tile info. And then we can check to see if, actually I don't know why I put that in there. If the tile info is fertilized when I watered this, then we'll update it so it uses the water fertilized status instead. For Atlas cord, let's keep it there for saving purposes only. And then we'll save it back. M tilde last mouse click tile equals the soil state dictionary. So we'll save that up. But since I have that info already, I just can use the soil states of Atlas cord here. So this should take up the new state, Atlas cord state there. So that was one bug with the watering. I didn't set the soil state correctly. The other one where I'm planting the seed on top of a fertilized tile, I don't know why it doesn't work right now. Let's build it. We'll try it again this time, making sure the water one works. Cool. Alright, so let's test it. Let's see what happens in this state here. And let's grab this fertilizer. All right, so we go there, we planted it, we add. All right, cool. So we added the fertilizer on top of that soil. Let's test out the watering can. Cool. So it stays in that state. Now I just gotta figure out why it doesn't want to plant this at all. Can I debug it now that I actually compiled it? Last time I didn't compile it. I would love to go into that function and see what I can do. Otherwise, I'll put some logs in it. Alright, I want to debug, attach to process, selects this, catch. And let's go and figure out why it does not want to place my seed in it. We'll put let's put that in here and see why. Maybe let's see if it even goes in here. So let's go back to Godot. Alright, so it's not even going in that location at all. So let's keep going up. Let's keep going up higher and see why it doesn't do it. Left mouse click. Alright, so let's go to our move complete. Here. Let's figure out what's going on in here. Alright. Alright, there we go. Let's find out what's happening. So I'm in soil. This is a soil layer. So it goes in here. See that it's true. Face direction is true. Does it go into environment flag? Okay, so it doesn't go there. It does the direction that player should face. Oh, you're busy. Is that why you don't want to go in there? Why you're busy, my boy? But there isn't any plotted tiles here yet. Let's go to the planting action and see how that works. So here it goes through here, checks state, checks to see if it's tilled. If it's active state, it goes to seed, which it is. It creates the plot tile. But it didn't create it for me right now. Oh, you know what? It could have been this bug here. So it did place a seed in it, but it could have been this bug here that made it so it doesn't work. Okay, let's look into that then. Let's create another seed tile. And we'll go in here right now and see what happened. Oh, I need to run it, so let's continue. Alright, let's create another seed. I mean, another okay, let's just keep going. Alright. No, I'll even water it. Ooh, look at that. That is definitely not what I want to do right now. Interesting. Alright, so let's make sure that this is seeded. Let's water it. So there's a bug here. It probably wasn't set correctly, which is why I set it to that. And then let's put a seed in it. Alright, so I want to keep going. Actually, I want to keep going down below. Let's see. Oh, move complete. Should have went down here and go into this. This is where I want to go. So it should go here. And it doesn't, so there's a bug. Some bug is happening here. I don't know why it's not going to the other one. And it's saying that it's... let's try that out with the new one then, I guess. And we'll add another breakpoint that we can check. Alright, let's go keep going down here. Let's create another till soil. Let's add water to it. Actually, this is not gonna work. It's gonna be the same thing from the top, huh? And actually put a seed in it. That'd be interesting. I just gotta fix that. Oh no, there's a bug. Oh. Something happened here, interesting. My icon, it looks like right next to my mouse is a little hole on it, so it looks like it was dragging and something happened that made that not work. That's great. Let's restart this again. Let me look at my... let's remove this. I don't need it right now. Alright, so that is removed. Let's try this again. Alright, so let's plant that, put seeds on it. I mean fertilizer, water it. And let's let's attach it again. Select the window, attach, and then we'll go here. Now that it's ready to plant a seed. Something's happening at this point. So I should fill all on these and then set this to true. That I'm planting a seed. Faces it. Yeah, why is this true though? I never planted anything at this location yet. I wish I can debug you and go into here, but I know that you have nothing in there. I haven't planted anything. So I don't know why this is returning true and saying that it has something, since I never plotted anything here yet. Yeah, that's very strange, and I'm seeing that right now. On watering can, if it has that position, shouldn't. It goes down here. If it does have one for this plotted tile, it creates it, but I don't have one. Unloaded plotted tiles, if this map house does not have one. Or, let's see. Okay, so it goes to this plotted tiles, which should be empty because I haven't plotted any crops yet. But it's saying that it has something in it. Very strange. I'm just going through. See, I went through everything already. So why does it say that it has something in it when it doesn't? Why do you say you have something in it when you don't? Hold on, give me a second. I'm trying to think here. Why would there be something in it? It was working before. It might be something with me adding a fertilizer to something. Because if I don't add a fertilizer to that towel, it works just fine. I can actually plant the seed. So let's see. So this is when it's doing the watering can action. Checking to see if there is something in there, and if it is a crop in there, it sets it to be watered. I retrieve the state, get the atlas cord for this. And there's a bug in here where it doesn't set it correctly. Alright, let's look at one bug first. I'm trying to fix that one. I need to figure out the other one. Hold on. There's nothing here. Just go all the way down here. This is when it loads it in. There's nothing in there. Nothing crazy going on in there either. It clears the plot tiles. Plotted tile updated. Fix this. It's updated. What did that mean? Interesting. Unclear save data. That's say clears it, and that's it. There's nothing else. Only place that it actually creates it. Wait, where is this? The only place that it actually creates it is it's in here. But it doesn't even go in there because it's busy, so I'm surprised that it even goes there, because this is where it adds it. But is it going here? You know what, let's test it out. Is this going here at any time? Because I do not see it happening right now. Alright. This is the only place we set this towel dictionary here. At this mouse position, so let's... Do I have to build? No, I didn't add anything new to it. I need to attach the process to it. And you know what? Let's just restart this entire thing. Alright, so now that I did that, let's attach the process to it. Let's debug it. Attach, click window, do that, attach, and the breakpoint should be there. So let's test it out and see what's going on. Because that is very strange. Alright, so let's go in here. Plant that. Nothing's happening yet. We'll add that. Nothing happening yet. We'll add that. Why is it not going in there? Alright, let's do the planting action. Doesn't even try and go in there at all. Why does it say that it has one there? That is so strange. But if I go to another one, and if I plant my seed, it works. He actually, it goes into that function and plants it. See, perfectly. But why is it not working when it's the fertilized one? And saying that there's a crop tile in there when there's not? That's a fun bug. But now I have to be done on another day because time is about to, you know, run out on me right now. Oh man, that's such a weird bug. Why does it work when it's not there's no fertilizer in it? And saying that it's busy even though there's no crop in that tile. That's so strange. That is so strange. I don't know why this is true when the only time this is set is in this same function. Yeah? It works when there's no fertilizer in it. That's strange for me that it actually does not work. Unless we're updating it. Hold on, let me see. So it's busy there. Do we update it? No, I don't think we do. Yeah, we're definitely not updating that value. Yeah, I'll have to look into this. I don't know why there's something in here. Why is there something there? When there's nothing in there, or there shouldn't be anything in there. I don't get it. I don't have any seeds anymore. What was the actual command? Just add item and then the actual item. Let's do seed melon. There we go. Perfecto. Alright, so let's do another one here. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't... Yeah, sure. Fine. We'll just do that. We'll add a fertilizer to it. It is true. For whatever reason, it's true already. Hold on, let's see. So it's true right now for whatever reason. We'll water it. Still true. And then we add the seed, but that's, I know that's not gonna work. So you know what? Let's fill the soil again. Is this true? It is true right now. Interesting. And let's add the seed. It's true again. What's going on there? So why did it work? You see that? It's going inside of here. That's so strange. Okay. Well, something to think about later on. That's such a weird bug. I'll need to look into that. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for joining the stream. We started kind of adding the fertilizer, but some weird bug is happening right now that I don't get. But you know, that happens sometimes. Okay, cool. So thank you guys for joining on the stream, or if you're watching this later on when it gets uploaded, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys notice anything in there that you can see like why this is happening, which is weird, it's true, but it's still going inside the ear, even though it shouldn't, which is strange. But anyway, we'll see if I can get this done, so that way in the next stream we can work on AI and stuff. So cool. All right then, guys. Talk to you guys later.